Okay, I apologize. I had to start the second part of this over again. So anyway, there I am in the checkout, and I've got my oil drain pan, and I've got my creamer in my hand. And it's almost my time to go up, and there's this gal behind the counter, probably about, I don't know, maybe about 20, 23, somewhere in between there. And she looks froggy like I am, where she's like, well, if you got to do something, you just got to do it. So anyway, the gentleman behind me is looking at the stuff in my hand, and he said, "It is so nice of you to change your husband's oil. I don't have a ring on my finger." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not married, sir. I'm changing my own oil." He said, "Oh." And I said, "Oh, it's okay." I said, "Maybe someday I'll get married." And he looks at me, he goes, "Yeah, that's a plus right there, that you can change your husband's oil." And I was like, oh. He said, "What?" And the girl behind the counter looks at me, and she's trying not to let out a laugh. And I raised my eyebrow, and the guy said, "Well, you know, because these days guys don't know how to change their own oil." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's flipped. It's not like it was 50 years ago, right?" And he said, "Right." And then I still had this look on my face. He goes, "Well, maybe you wouldn't date anybody that wouldn't know how to change their own oil." And I was like, "There's the butter and the biscuit, buddy." So it's not to discredit anyone that doesn't know how to change their own oil, but we had this whole conversation, the gal behind the counter even, and it's just one of those things where, me personally, as a woman, I work a lot. So I have two jobs. I also have a small business. I'm a fitness trainer. I'm starting to work out my own regimens finally again, not just on my clients, but on myself. And then I also have two other jobs so that I can, make ends meet, and someday hopefully, retire or buy some land or just something like that, right? And so we had this whole conversation about how different things were. But the thing is like, we all agreed that, just because somebody knows how to do something doesn't mean that you don't help someone else along. Just because someone knows how to open a door doesn't mean chivalry is dead. I appreciate masculinity, and I do appreciate chivalry a lot. And it just doesn't get said enough. And gentlemen, if you had somebody that, in your life that passed away that could have taught you the things, but, you didn't get a chance to, pick it back up and just do it, because you are worth, being, you are just worth a lot. I'm just going to put it that way. And masculinity is